Now this kit is also interesting because of this. Normal Hardwire kits have a little step-down box that takes the power from our car, which is 12 volts, and brings that power down to around 5 volts so it can power a dashcam with a USB interface. The Thinkware Hardwire kit does not have a step-down box at all. It takes the 12 volts from our car and delivers the 12 volts to the Thinkware dashcam. So this is one of those few dashcams that operates at the full power that the car does, which is 12 volts. There is only 2 fuses, and the fuses internally can be replaced. I can just pop that open and replace that fairly easy. Now let's talk about this side right here. This side is gonna go to the dash cam. Now let's talk about this side right here. This side is gonna go to the car, typically somewhere around the fuse box or the fuse box of the car. But before I go over what each one of these wires does, let's just talk about briefly of why would you want to hardwire a dash cam. Well, you may be happy having a cigarette lighter plug connected and powering up your dash cam, but you may want to hide and conceal all those cables, and that's the advantage of a hardwire kit. You can hide and conceal the cables, free up the cigarette lighter port, but the key is that it also enables the real parking mode. And parking mode is what allows you to monitor your car whenever it is parked. Well, let's talk about these 3 wires and where they go. We'll start with the black one. The first one is called ground, and it has this little lug, so I typically look for a bolt that I can loosen up, slide this into here, and then lock down the bolt, giving me ground. Fairly easy connection to make. Now the other 2 right here, I have to go to a positive power source, and we'll start with the red one first. The red one has been labeled ACC, which means accessory. This has to go to a power source that has power only when the car is in the accessory position or when the car is running. So that is accessory, only when the car is switched on or in accessory mode. Now the yellow one has to go to a power source that has power all the time, and that's why it's labeled battery and is yellow in color. I'm gonna look for a wire and a place to connect this wire that has power even when the car is off. Now, how do I connect these loose wires to the fuse box? This one's fairly easy, but these 2 right here, they're literally wires. Most people want to use something that is reversible, and that's what these guys come in. These ones right here are called fuse taps, and they allow us to tap into our fuse box without having to cut any wires whatsoever. The way that this is gonna work, I'm gonna pull the insulation off and I'm gonna install this little fuse tap like that. Now this process is called crimping. I have a very detailed video that covers crimping. I'll put a link in the description down below if you want to learn how to attach the wires to the fuse taps. Now unfortunately, Thinkware did not include any fuse taps with their kit, so I have also placed a link in the description to a fuse tap kit. But let's talk about how the fuse tap works. Once I have made the connection on this side, the other side has to go to the fuse box. And it's fairly easy. All I have to do is look in the fuse box and find a fuse that I want to pull. And then I can insert this in there. And now the original fuse is going to be reinserted into the bottom slot. Notice the bottom slot right here. The new fuse for the dashcam is going to be inserted in the top slot. Now, because this kit did not come with fuse taps, it does not include fuses. So you would also have to buy your own fuse for using fuse taps. So that is kind of a small disadvantage with the Thinkware Hardwire kit, that they don't give you fuse taps. They don't give you the fuses that go into the fuse tap. And obviously they don't, because they have already included fuses in here. But at least we save the cost of buying the hardware kit, and that money can go to buying a fuse tap kit. And let's also talk about why in the kit you get multiple fuse taps. Do we really need all of them? No, we only need 2. Remember, we're only connecting the red wire and the yellow wire using fuse taps, so I only need 2 of them. But you'll notice that the fuse taps are slightly different. We only need the one that matches our size of our car, and let me tell you what I mean by that. As you can see, over time manufacturers have used different sizes of fuses for our vehicles, and the very large one that starts over here, that's the standard fuse size. Then you have this one right here, which is the mini size, and then you have this one right here, which is the micro size, and then finally you have this little guy, which is the low profile. So when I go to the car and I pull a fuse, I want to confirm what size am I dealing with. If I am dealing with the mini fuse size, then I have to use a mini fuse tab. If my car has the full standard size, then I have to use the standard size fuse tab. Like I said, the link I put in the description is for a fuse tab kit that includes all the possible sizes, so you only have to buy one kit. So it's an interesting kit. Everything is controlled through the dash cam. Normally kits like this will have a little switch where you can select at what point the battery cuts off and to prevent from stranding you on the road, or some kind of mode selection. Nothing like that with the Thinkware Hardwire kit. All of those options are controlled by the Thinkware software built into the dash cam. And now that you're familiar with the Hardwire kit, I do have a more in-depth video on the actual Hardwire installation process. I placed a link in the description down below if you wanna check that video out. And if you guys have any questions regarding the Thinkware Hardwire kit, please put that in the comments down below. If you found any part of this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up button to support the channel, and stay tuned as I have more cool gadgets and dashcam reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.